Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, you're welcome. I hope you join the family by clicking on the subscribe button. I am very sure you will love this family because we learn a lot. So click on the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on post notifications as well so that you get notified anytime I upload new videos. If you're a returning subscriber, you are welcome back. My name is Priscilla. Have I said that already? My name is Priscilla and I film about faith, purpose and marriage. So in today's video, which is going to be short, hopefully, I want to share with you 3 things I wish I knew before I got married. I was that lady who actually really prepared towards marriage. I did different types of preparation towards marriage, and one of them was to read a lot. I read quite a number of books on marriage. And when I say marriage, it doesn't mean that all the books were on marriage, you understand, but it was towards marriage. Anyway, one of the books that I read, by the way, if my memory serves me right, is titled Things I Wish I Knew Before I Got Married. If you haven't read it, you should definitely read it. Check it out. So I read that book and I reviewed it with my community, Exceptional Ladies. Any Exceptional Ladies watching? We did a review of that book. It's a very, very interesting and practical book. But one of the things that I've realized, after being married for a while, is that in as much as people usually talk about things they wish they knew before they got married, I my personal observation, okay, I kind of feel like those things they talk about the symptoms. Like one of the things that I remember reading from one of the books that I read was the fact that the author mentioned that he thought toilets get washed by themselves, something like that, something actually very funny, because after he got married he realized that the wife was asking him to help in cleaning the toilet, and it was like, you understand? So like some of these surprises that you actually get to marriage, but I feel like, again, this is just the symptom. These are things that happen as a result of something, right? So I want to share my perspective. This is probably going to be like part 1 of things I wish I knew before I got married, because I'm sure there are still some things that I'm going to get to discover in marriage. And I'm probably going to share this from the perspective from which I'm going to share it, not just because of my personal experience, but because of the lenses through which I'm looking at these things as a marriage therapist. So number 1 is one of the points I'm sure you've heard over and over. Marriage is work. Let me know if you've heard it before. Marriage is work. But I feel like when people say marriage is work, well, I don't know what they think when they say that, but from the interactions that I've had with people, is as though marriage is work has become a cliche. And usually when people say that, what they mean is that you have to put in work for your marriage to work. So let me know what comes to mind when you hear marriage is work. Just let me know in the comment. You can pause the video and let me know in the comment section, okay? But of course, I knew that marriage is work before I got married. And that was why I was preparing, by the way. I was preparing because I knew that marriage was going to take work. My marriage was going to take me working on it for it to work. But I feel like when you say marriage is work, we are really mostly just talking about the fact that you have to play your role as a wife or you have to play your role as a husband. But what I have learned is that the bulk of the work is actually from the inside out. So like for me, when I say marriage is work, I'm talking about the inner work that you have to do on yourself. So marriage is work, but the most important part of the work for me is the work that you have to do on the inside. And that leads me to the second thing that I wish I knew before I got married, which is therapy is super, super duper important. We don't talk a lot about that. I have realized that, again, as a marriage therapist and also from personal experience as a married woman, that there are a lot of things that would interfere in the way that you show up in your marriage, and that will cause you to self-sabotage due to some childhood experiences that you had, or some experience that you had at one point in time, even when you were grown up, that you may not be aware of. There are so many people who are struggling with their marriages today because of some trauma that they haven't healed from, because of an experience that has left a scar on their minds, or an experience that has left some wounds, okay, in their lives, and they don't realize how much, no matter how much but no matter how much they want to have a happy marriage, you don't realize how that trauma or those experiences are actually causing them to self-sabotage. Some of them may not even be aware of that reality, okay? So that's why I said what I'm sharing is really from a marriage therapist perspective. But if you are single and you are listening to me, you have to understand that marriage therapy is super, super important. If you are a married woman listening to me and you're having issues with your marriage, this is something that I really want to talk about a lot as well. You don't need to suffer in silence. Seek help. Okay, you don't have to suffer in silence. Seek help. I'm not saying just go and talk to anybody. Talk to a certified or a licensed marriage therapist to help you. Okay, this is super important. And I'm saying marriage therapist because it will help you really dig deep. At least this is what I do with my clients. Marriage therapy helps you to really, really dig deep, to uncover the root causes of whatever issues that you are grappling with. And I'm telling you that for many people, trauma is one of the things that actually causes them to self-sabotage when it comes to building their marriage. Even though they desire happy marriages, they don't realize that they are destroying it with their own hands as well. And that leads me to the third thing that I wish I knew before I got married. Guess. The third thing is communication is super, super important. I'm not sure I saw that in any of the books that I read. Again, as I said, I'm sure I'm going to discover even more as I stay married. But communication is literally the thread that holds your marriage together. From my experience and based off the work that I do, most couples grapple with communication, and it is also linked to the point number 2 that I've mentioned. So if you're able to work on your communication skills, if you're able to learn how to communicate effectively, one of the things that I learned is that many of us think that we know how to communicate effectively, but we don't. Communication is not a given. It is something that you learn. You learn how to communicate effectively. Communication is not just talking. It's not just saying what you want to say, but it really, there's a way to say it. But most importantly, communication is first about connection. And this is why the points number 2 and the points number 1 that I mentioned are super, super important. In fact, they are all related. So, there is more. There is more. There is more, but this is what I want to share with you today. 3 things I wish I knew before I got married. Let me know which of them surprised you, or which of them do you think that you need to begin to work on. This is very important. Again, if you are single and you desire to get married anytime soon, within the next year or 2, it's important that you begin to pay attention to these things and prepare thoroughly. Please go ahead and share this video with someone. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, click on the subscribe button. Don't forget to also hit the notification bell so that you get notified anytime I post new videos. I hope that today's video actually inspires you to work on yourself so that you can have a good marriage. Alrighty, so that will be all for today, guys. I will talk to you in the next one. Bye for now.